Danyel, Domi, Lyon. Danyel, Domi, Lyon. Danyel non-twu Lyon. TWOU. Two. Lyon, Daniel 6. Bagayo pa T-bone. Minim. M-E-N-M. Minim. So I'm going to read this terribly, so that way I can learn. And you don't learn language by listening to other people speak it. You learn it by speaking. Also, culture. All culture comes out of language. All culture comes out of language. So we have men. It's spelled M-E-N, but it's got an M at the end. What does that word even mean? Bagayo pa T-bone minim min pu pep bond yeya. Pep bond yeya. That's the God of the people. The people's God. Paske yo te minin yo com esclav bien Lyon non pi Babylon min sapa vele di bonye te bliye peplia Daniel te rimen bonye li te kon obeye li to obey him. Bonye te mete and pill intelligence. It's intelligence, right? It's intelligence, spelled with an E. Intelligence. Non-Daniel pu li Konprann bagay ki difficile wa Babylon non pa tipran on pil tan pu li wesa wa Darius. Wa Darius, that's King Darius. Wa Babylon, that's the king of Babylon. Is that the king of Babylon, Darius? Wa Darius te apresier intelligence ki te non Daniel. Si sa ki ka k S-E-S-A-K apostrophe. I have no idea what any of that is. Fee. F-E is at heart. Li te shwazi. Oh my God. Let's just write that sentence so we could try to figure out it. It looks like to me, Sisa ki fi li te shawazi. But I'm sure that's not it at all. Need to do a refresher. Shouldn't just jump in reading to others like you know it when you don't know it at all. Daniel com bra doit li e by li responsab and peel lot with a moon key tap travail puli to work for him. Min lot moon yo pa te rimen sa paske yo te vele se yo pu wa a ti pi rimen. Se sa ki fe yo monte complo cont. Daniel yo sheshe bagay lakai. That's thing house. Daniel pu yo diwa min yo pati jwin and yen kimol. Sel sa yo ti jwin. Shak Ju, Sun Monk, Matin Midi, Swa Daniel Rentre, Nan Shan, Li Fimin Pat La Puli Priye Bonye. Yo Tapri, EPO Di Kansa. We'll stop it there because, like I said, I'm going to do a refresher course. But that's Daniel and the Lions. Yote Kantan, Octet. Yo, I know some things, okay? Sak Pase. Kijanouye, Sak Pase. Mwe is me. I know I see a lot of this. Banye is God, intelligence, Bagai thing, difficile, difficult, right? Difficile. This is very difficile. What, the king of Babylon, the king of Darius, and then the story of Daniel and the lion is basically just some magical story, but you got Darius throws Daniel in with the lions, and the lions don't eat him, and then Darius starts worshiping Daniel's God. But the reason why that had happened was because the ministers around Darius had said, this son of a bitch is always praying to God. He always, he's his favorite, so we got to figure out a way to get rid of him. He's always praying to God. So we'll just say, hey, Darius passed a law saying no more praying to God, and then once he passed that law, we'll say, hey, Daniel keeps on praying to God, and that means you got to throw him to the lions. You fucking passed the damn law. He's still praying. He's not praying to you. He thinks his God is more important than you. Daniel's like, oh, I'm just praying over here. What's about it? Ain't bothering nobody. What's the matter? Come on, guy. What's up? But Darius and the ministers, well, we passed the fucking law, so we got to fuck you over. We passed that law, so we got to fuck you over. He threw it into the lion. And then when he comes out of the lion's den, Darius adopts his God, makes Daniel the prime minister, the main, fucking guy, his main number 2, and his main second fiddle. And when he makes him his second fiddle, he also throws all of his enemies into the lion's den. He vanquishes all of his enemies, including their families and their children. Just wipes the fuck out of them. It kind of reminds me after World War II, you had Nazis who were being Nazis and shit. But the Nazis went into Czechoslovakia, into Bohemia. That's actually where it fucking began, in the so-called Sudetenlands. So in the heart of Bohemia, you got the heart of Bohemia. That's like the fucking Holy Roman Empire, the dark, black forest of Germany. That's Bohemia. And they're Czechs. They're not Germans. But the Germans came in saying, traditionally this used to be our land. So during World War II, they took over Czechoslovakia, the Bohemia. But after they had lost, there was a massacre. There was also a massacre in Haiti of the Germans. The Germans, basically the pretense was, well, we have a bunch of Germans over there and we got to go save them. So if you allow the Germans to live next to you, well then in a couple of years, Nazis are going to fucking invade you. So get rid of the damn Germans so that way they don't have a pretense whatsoever. No, there's no Germans here for you to save. Haiti did the same thing after their revolution in 1804. And that's the age of revolution. That's when that's when the world wakes the fuck up. We had the Enlightenment, but it wasn't until we had the revolution could we all the people could really start to think for ourselves. But the white French were oppressing the Haitians. The first time the slaves actually overthrew the slave masters, got their own country. To St. Louverture is going to get fucked over by Napoleon, but Dessalines is going to pick up the baton and carry the revolution forward to victory. So to St. Louverture, Dessalines got the Haitian Revolution of 1804. Right after the revolution was successful, well then Dessalines just started marching from town to town, killing all the white people. Especially the French whites. Probably for the same reason, as the other one. If there's French citizens, then there's going to be French soldiers. Or maybe they were the soldiers. You never know, right? If you've seen one Frenchman, you've seen them all. Except for one group of people. Dessalines hated all the white people. Except for the Polanders. He didn't hate the Polanders. So, he probably attacked, there's British and the Spanish were fighting for the islands for a long time, but it was mainly the French who had been oppressing them. And so, the Haitians killed a lot of the French civilians, and they went town to town and killed, the French, probably the English too, and the Spanish. But they left the Polanders alone. So Germans are, apparently Frederick Douglass liked the Germans. And Dessalines likes the Polanders. And Nietzsche said that if you want to mock they say mock Poland, but it makes no sense because the greatness of Germany comes out of Polish blood. So that's a nice little, turn the whole Polak thing on its head. The Germans were actually basing their entire thing was on the Polish intelligence. And then they got a little bit smarter maybe or something, or no, they just started attacking everybody. Is that smart? They attacked them with tanks and they just had horseback. So, what? that's the Danyel and the Lion story. So I'm going to brush up on this so that way I can read this better. It seems to me that people that want to speak English kind of just wants to like tell you what to do. Command. Do this, do that. Shita. Sit down. Shita, shita. Shita, shita, shita. There's so much more to life than just, do as I tell you, do as I command. There's so much more to life. So, yeah, the Kreyol is magical because it was a confluence of all these Portuguese cultures, Spanish, French, English, African, and they made it all up. It's all fucking made up, and really all languages are made up. So I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to just brush up on it, and I'll probably actually understand all the words that I was trying to say later on. So, don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Oh, Lord, would you buy me Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amen. Work hard all my life. No help from my friends. Oh, Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?